Now we're going to be doing chapter 4, lesson 5, question number 40. So yeah, h x equals 4x3 minus 6x2 plus 1. So we're going to have to make a table, find the consecutive number of x's, or like zeros, and then if we're going to find the relative minimum or maximum. We're going to have to make a table and graph. So, to make the table, x, comma, y. This could be h, like parentheses x, but I just say it as y. I got used to it. So now I usually do it from -3 so on. So let's try that out. So I do -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's check if this works. So I'm gonna plug in -3 into this function, -2 to this function, -1 to this function, 0 to this function, 1 to this function, 2 to this function, 3 to this function, and then I'm gonna get my y, my answer. So I type into my calculator. First one I get -161. For the second one, I get -55. Third one, which is -1, put it in. I get -9. Zero, you get 1. For 1, you get -1. For 2, you get 9. For the last one, 3, you get 55. So now that we got our x and y, all we're gonna have to do is figure out the consecutive zeros, and yeah. So for this one, as you can see in the table, it's negative, negative, negative. But from -9, it goes from -9 to 1. So we already know there's gonna be a 0 somewhere in between here. And so you can write 0. And then from 1 to -1, that's also 0. And then from -1 to 9, that's also, it's another 0. And yeah, so there is basically, in the table you can basically tell there is a consecutive, actually, like a 0 from values x equals 0 and what's this, x equals 1. Then you also have x equals 0 and sorry, my bad. You have a 0 in between x equals -1 and 0, and then you have a 0 in between x equals 0 and 1, and then you have a 0 at x equals 1 and 2. Yeah, so there. So let's just write it down so it's less confusing. So zeros, I'm writing in here, zeros are basically x equals -1 and x equals 0, comma, between, come on, doesn't show, between x equals 0 and x equals 1, comma, between x equals 1 and x equals 2. Yeah, so it's basically what I said. Yeah, okay. So now that we're done identifying the consecutives and making a table for it, now all we're gonna have to do is graph it. So let's do that. I guess I'll make my graphs go by 11. If it fits. Yeah, we're gonna have to make the slope. Yeah, same thing. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, 6, -7. Down. -8, -9, -11. Sides. It says go by 5. So 5, -4, -3, -1, 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. Now that we have our graph, weird looking graph. Okay, so we got our graph. Now what we're gonna have to do is plot our points. So let's do 0, 1, 0, 1. Let's do 1, -1, 1, -1. It's right there. Now let's do 2, 9, 2, 9, like somewhere right here. 1, -1, -9. 1, -9. And you just gotta connect them all. So it's gonna be something like oh my god. Yep. That can be definitely better. Okay. Now we're done graphing it. Now we can state relative max and relative min. Just gotta write that somewhere. Sorry if you can't see it. Right next to the graph. So from the table we can basically understand that the relative relative maximum is near value x equals 0 and 1 and x equals 1. Yeah, so x equals 0. No, x equals 1 because it's on the y. So you can just say x equals 0 and 1. So I use equivalence on the table. 0, 1 right here. That's like its highest point. That's why it's relative max. And full stop. The relative min is around, it's kind of hard holding it with one hand, around the value x equals 1, because it's down here. So it's max, that's relative min. And as you can see all together, that's question number 40. Made the table, identified the consecutives in order to zeros, relative max and relative min, graphed it, and yeah, that's the function. Chapter 4, lesson 5.